Welcome back to the Dizzy Diaries. Today we're doing our Friday Fable based on the clinical episode on neuropathy from earlier in the week. The Kingdom of Silver Threads. Once upon a time, in a kingdom not so different from your own body, there lived millions of silver threads. They were not visible to the naked eye, but they were everywhere. They ran from the grand tower at the center of the land, down through valleys, into forests, across rivers, and out to the very tips of the kingdom's borders. They slipped into fingertips and toes, into skin and vessels and hidden passageways. These silver threads were the kingdom's messengers. When the wind turned cold, they carried the news. When a flame burned too close, they sounded the alarm. When the rivers needed narrowing or widening, they sent instructions to the gates. They were delicate but tireless, and for years they did their work without applause, until one day something shifted. It began quietly. A few threads in the outer forest started sending strained messages. The villagers reported sparks where there was no fire, ice where there was warmth, buzzing where there was only still air. The royal council dismissed it. Probably nothing, they said. Perhaps the villagers are imagining it, but the silver threads were struggling. Some had been singed, some tangled, some had simply grown too tired to carry messages clearly. Instead of clear signals, they sent static. Instead of warnings, they sent silence. In the northern borders of the kingdom, the villagers stopped feeling the pebbles beneath their feet. In the southern hills, hands grasped cups but felt as if they belonged to someone else. It was as if parts of the kingdom had drifted half a step away from themselves. The queen, who ruled from the grand tower, felt it too. She could still move her armies. The gates still opened and closed, but it felt distant, like commanding a kingdom through fog. She would raise her arm and it would rise, but it felt as if they were watching it happen from a balcony high above. Not powerless, just disconnected. So she summoned the royal cartographer. "Map the silver threads," she said. The cartographer travelled to the borders with a simple golden pin. He pressed it gently into the villager's skin. "Can you feel this?" Someone said yes, someone said no, and some hesitated. And as he charted his findings, a pattern emerged. The silver threads were thinning in the outer regions, not broken entirely but frayed, faded and weakened. The council panicked. "Rebuild them," they demanded. "Train them harder, strengthen them." But the royal healer shook her head. "They're not soldiers," she said gently. "They are couriers. Couriers require nourishment, clear roads, time. You cannot shout a message louder if the road itself is damaged." The queen listened. For the first time, instead of demanding speed, she demanded stillness. The kingdom reduced the smoke in its skies, cleared inflammation from its rivers, repaired what was attacking the threads in the first place. It was slow work. Pain still sparked in places it shouldn't. Silence still lingered in some fields, and some threads regrew at a pace of moss-climbing stone. But something important shifted. The queen stopped blaming the villagers. She stopped accusing them of exaggeration. She stopped telling herself the sparks were imaginary. Instead, she understood. The messengers were not betraying her. They were injured, and injured messengers need protection, not punishment. Over months, then seasons, some silver threads grew stronger. Not all, not perfectly, but enough. The northern villagers began to feel the ground again. The southern hills felt warmer in winter. The fog between the queen and her limbs thinned. The kingdom was not the same as before. It was wiser. It learned that the smallest threads often carry the most essential messages. That silence can be as meaningful as pain. That healing is not a sprint through open fields, but a careful weaving of fragile strands. And most importantly, just because a message feels distorted does not mean it is false. Sometimes it simply means the messenger needs care. So if you find yourself in a kingdom where sparks appear without fire, where parts of you feel distant or unplugged, where the silver threads seem unreliable, pause. Clear the roads, nourish the messengers, seek the cartographer. And remember, a frayed thread is still a thread. It can be protected, it can be supported, and sometimes, with patience, it can shine again. Happy Friday. I'll see you in the next fable.